It is January the 14th, 2015, and I am Dana Durnford, also known as the NuclearProctologist.org, and you can find my videos and Fukushima presentations at livestream.com. And right now we have finally taken, I don't know if you call it a rest, but we took a break. We're taking a break. Feels like an 8-day hiatus. It feels like I'm kind of like Dana again all of a sudden after 8 days. And so that's a kind of a wonderful thing. And I guess I needed the extra sleep, and I definitely needed the extra research and the time to do the research. And so I got a little program that I've been working on every day, and I'm trying to just shoot a video. So it's better to come out sometimes and do a live stream because that's more comfortable. I'm not going to say it's easier, but it's definitely more comfortable. Yeah, everyone is taking a break. Elaine, I'm good. Kinda worn out, and so I needed that break. Unbelievably, I just didn't have it in me. In one sense, I think everybody else was worn out at the same time. And we'll let that play out for a few extra seconds because there's only a couple seconds left. And it was just about being able to get it to stay there when I'm zooming around. And so that was another difficult thing I accomplished. Was getting my twin right over here to be able to stay in place, where before it would kind of get out of whack. Hi everybody. Brian, Gigi, Duke, Terry Ann. It usually takes us a few minutes, folks, if you're not familiar with these streams, to get up and streaming. And I don't know what I'm doing sometimes, and that's okay too. But I do know one thing. I better get rid of that extra stream I got going over there. Gabriel, Chuck. Hi, everybody. It's an impromptu stream. And every day I feel like streaming, and I go back to bed. We've come a long way. We've done a lot of good things. We have won a lot of battles. We have started a lot of battles. We have inspired an incredible amount of people, including TEPCO, Wikipedia, and a whole bunch of others, to start alluding that Fukushima actually exists and that there's really is 3 melted reactors in Japan. And for anybody that's not familiar with that, you can see Fukushima, Japan. I'll just run you through it. It takes a moment. Try to get warmed up here. And so Fukushima had a 9.0 earthquake. Think about this thing. It was 9,000 miles an hour. Hit Florida in about 30 minutes. It shook the whole country for 6 minutes. There was 3 7-point and higher earthquakes within the first 40 minutes. And then about 5 minutes, depending on where you're told. Well, the tsunami hit fairly quick in some places. But you got to realize the continental shelf, the way it dropped, that tectonic plate, it was about 180 miles wide. Yeah, about 180 miles wide. And I want to cover a couple of headlines before I go down the path that I got set for us tonight. But just in case I don't get around to explaining that. So the earthquake was about 7,000 times worse than Christchurch, and was 1,000 times worse than Haiti. That's according to the media. You can believe those whack jobs. The earthquake itself, there was many, I don't call them tremors, there was many earthquakes after, but not like the major one. This major one, it's about 1, 2, 3 G's on your body. And so a human can't stand up after 1 G. You have to sit down. But you're not actually sitting, you're moving around the whole time. And we've seen videos of people in Tokyo where the roads were splitting and pulling apart, and all the skyscrapers at the one time were incredible lateral movements. This was followed by a tsunami, as if that wasn't bad enough. Imagine being shook for 6 minutes. There is nothing on the planet that can handle that kind of shaking. You know, I've been on the ocean in hurricanes many times over my life. And trying to stand up in these massive waves is one way of looking at it. It's a daunting task. So, I'm just going to run through this part right quick. They had detonations, meltdowns. This is Unit 1. And I can bring it up and give you a really good high quality picture compared to what you're looking at. No. That doesn't work at all, Dana. What the hell, Dana? Get your stuff together, Dana. Get rid of the lower third. Dana. Dana, where are you to? I can't see you. Okay, hang on. Give me a second. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. I'm only so good. Okay, there's Unit 1. There's Unit 2. These are two of them. Two of them. One, just one enough, Dana. One hand. Okay, with two hands, one each. Two. Both. Now, in comparison, I say comparison. Think about Chernobyl for 1 second. Chernobyl only lasted 10 days. Fukushima didn't stop. Chernobyl was 1/3 the size. And Chernobyl was equal to 400 Hiroshima bombs. So what the hell is Fukushima? We calculated just on the Chernobyl model. Yeah, and Chernobyl was a reactor. It was 1/3 meltdown, 30% the size of any of these reactors you're looking at. And it stopped after 10 days. But they threw 1 million people at it. 600 helicopter pilots died of radiation. But don't bother putting that up in the UN. They don't put nothing like that up there for some reason. But I showed you those clips from Harvard right after Fukushima talking about that. This is Unit 3. This is mixed oxide fuel. There's like 2 million reactors. Let me run that by you again. There's like 2 million. This is worse than 2 million reactors. How about that? And Unit 1, by the way, is that one there. So, pretty big bang for that. And Unit 3. And Unit 4. Right? And they showed you that. They said it was inside of this building they got left there. Not the piece they built up alongside it with the cranes. That's the homeless you see there. They're dead. They're dead. Dead man walking. They died a couple of weeks later at best. This is Unit 4. That's Unit 4. Now, let's get rid of a myth that Unit 4 looked like that on the inside. Or that on the inside of that deer coming up. There's some irony there. We're not going to get to it tonight, but it's over the top whack job stuff. Trust me. So, Dana. Hang on a second. Let's bring up a headline for everybody. Get rid of the picture Dana got there in everybody's way. Dana. That doesn't work, Dana. You better fix that or everybody runs away. Okay, gotta give me a second. Okay, let's go. Let's do that. There you go. Less than 30 seconds. That's the internet lifespan, 30 seconds. If you don't get it right after 30 seconds, they're going to have to watch the weirdest, stupidest, mindless stuff imaginable. Fukushima Prefecture to seek nuclear accident compensation. So this is the Fukushima government. Oh, Fukushima Prefecture government. Planet for Fusam to seek compensation. I learned Japanese when I was young, okay? Get over it. Yeah, I know I never showed anybody that can talk Japanese before, but there it is, okay? Now everybody knows Dana can talk Japanese. Compensation to Sasam, Taranov, to spill Resolution for a portion of damage. Yeah. The old hockey sweater over his head, get him in the headlock. How you like those apples? Dana, get on with it. Yeah, I'm gonna get on with it. tell you Japanese, Dana. So, the claim seek about 1 billion yen. Yeah? 1 billion yen we pay now. You pay now. In compensation. And scroll all the way down to the second sentence right across from my finger. From the bottom of that first paragraph. Okay, go for the third sentence. Department that was newly created. Newly created. Newly created. Newly. It's like GMO. They just created it. And boop. It's like the radioactive atoms that come out of a reactor. They're newly created. They're man-made. As well as expenditures associated with combating harmful. Not allowed to say that. What? I like to see the accountant on that if you don't mind. I want to see the checks and balances on that one. Is that the ones where we've seen the videos of people getting pummeled at the public meetings? Or is that the ones where TEPCO got employees to go in there and pretend they're citizens? Talking about Mox Fuel that time? Or is it about the 12,000 yen or 12 million yen they spent on Twitter in the first couple of months after the accident? Or, now this is a big or. It could last 25 minutes or so. You might be laughing right now in 25 minutes. We'll see who's laughing. Okay? Alright? We'll see. We're going to see right now is what you're going to... What? You're calling me out? Alright. Okay. Hey, what's going on here? Oh, that's right. It's supposed to be over there. Hang on, everybody. Yoink. Let me move myself back a little tiny bit because no, better leave myself there. Going to get myself in trouble. Yoink. So were they censoring the children playing on the dirt with a huge amount of radioactivity? No, probably not. Including alpha particles? Most likely, positively not. And cesium levels so high, it prevented identification of other isotopes because they ran away screaming, "Run for your life! Run!" It won't stop screaming. Or could it be the Japanese medical experts? Did he censor them who were deeply concerned about children's radiation exposure? 51% of the kids were contaminated. 51%. What do you think? You pour some water over and all's good now? Go home, Timmy. Leukemia takes 5 years. Timmy, you'll be okay. We'll check back. Let's censor Timmy. Put him on the list. Some had clothing indicating, so they take their clothing home, put it in the washer, and they put it in the dryer, then they put it in the drawer, then they wear it, then they go to school with it. Yeah? Yeah. And that's why all the sewage is full of cesium, plutonium, and americium, neptunium down there, by the way. Did he censor those guys? I wonder. Was that what some of the money was? That probably was, right? Yeah, that's what it was. Professor measuring contamination warns police of high radiation levels. He got censored. Commander responded, "Slender! Slend beat him!" Now, there was over 300 police officers that stood up there and told people, no, you cannot go this way. It's very contaminated. They fell over and died. 300. 70% of the children tested in Kanto, a region that includes, Tokyo. 70% of them were pissing out urine full of cesium. There would have been 100 times more strontium. And in the iodine, there would have been 31 times more. 129. With a 15 million year half-life. Oh, it's okay. It's just kids, Dana. The kids can handle that stuff, Dana. Well, 11 becquerels a kilogram cause permanent lesions to their organs. Kids are 10 times more susceptible than adults. Duh. And all of them from outside the Fukushima prefecture. No one got sick down there, Dana. No, because it takes 5 or 10 or 15, 20, 25 years, who knows how long, for the cancer to show up. But there's 1,800 autoimmune deficiencies will show up first. Alzheimer's, dementia, diabetes, heart, liver, lung, respiratory, pituitary, breast cancers, or just the autoimmune deficiencies. There's 1,800 shows up before cancer. Cancer's a little tiny mousey in the room, hid away in the corner behind the stereo, munching on a, I was going to say condom, but too late, I just did. Dana, people eating more radiation, but not in danger. 90, I'm laughing at that, not what I just said. 96% of Fukushima residents ingested cesium. On December the 4th, yummy cesium. I want more cesium. Yummy. Hey, you bring back that big bowl of cesium, you bastard. 50%, 56% in the Tokyo area. The other ones were rioting in the street because they didn't get their cesium. Okay, I made that part up. Let's keep going. Not that it matters, because rain caused 29 million. Gee, I don't even know what to say to that one. It's like, you got to play that song you play at the graveyard all the time. Did he censor all the victims of that? They got a lot more money to submit for. They'll be submitting. Oh, we had to censor little Timmy. He was whining about the leukemia. Little bastard. He stomped him real good. High radiation levels near Tokyo. Linked to Fukushima. Okay. Whoa. I just thought of something. It might be important. You never know. You only got 30 seconds before everybody runs away. Clock is a ticking, buddy. Oh my god. Too friggin' much here in one folder. The last couple of days. Oh Jesus, oh goodness. Hang on, Dana! Okay. Oh no! I left a picture up in everybody's way. Everybody's probably right away, but oh my goodness! Under 30 seconds. Probably 2 or 3 people left there. Better go check. Bloody internet, but you gotta make software so when I think of it, it shows up on my screen. Not that I'm gonna hook myself up to that, but it probably wouldn't hurt to make shit like that. No, everybody's still there. Hello, everybody. How are you, folks? Let's get back to the story I just never told. All right. Those little red dots. Okay, Dana, they're not dots, Dana, they're squares. I can't watch any more of this cookie conspiracy shit. He don't even know the difference between a circle and a square. I don't know why I want to trust Dana Durnford, nuclear proctologist, for it. You can't even bring up his name. You can't even do it right. Look, Dana screwed it up again. You can't get it right, Dana. Dana, you got to give it up, Dana. Might as well give it up, boy. I'm too old for that, Dana. Alright, let's tell a little story, shall we? Yes. Oh shit, we're live. Okay. Ugh. I almost want to have a smoke now after that one. My cigarettes don't got 7,000 chemicals. Don't have a seizure. Don't run in the corner and defecate all over yourself. That is a cigarette, can't trust it no more. Well, I could probably feel that way if I was smoking ones with 7,000 chemicals. But I'm not. Are you? For goodness sakes, please smoke the ones with just tobacco. They've been doing studies for 50 years, 60 years on nicotine, trying to leak it to cancer and ignoring the 7,000 chemicals. Now you can see advertisement on TV. Can't quit smoking, probably got nothing to do with the 7,000 chemicals. I've been yelling about this for many, many years, long before it showed up on your TV. My narrative is my narrative. That's my narrative. Everything you hear is my narrative. I went looking, found that, corrected it, made sure we had proper data, and then shared it. That's my narrative. Then get on with it. Okay, you don't have to be so freaking rough all the time. You're smoking cigarette, Dana, shut up. Okay, you can talk a little bit. Probably not going to work if you shut up. See? Kooky conspiracies. Anyway, if you haven't worked it out on your own yet, all those little dots are a lot of people. The smaller the square, it's 1 to 100. Medium square, 100 to I can't tell you because I'm too... Let me run that again. I might have made a mistake and people will cut that out and they'll come attack me. So small square is 1 to 100. The fatalities. The bigger square, the medium one, the middle one. You know, the one in the middle. Yeah? That's 100 to 1,000. And the big figure, he is how many? Yeah, over 1,000. You guys are really on the ball today. Okay. Then you got another 30 seconds. You better get going. You're slowing down. Okay, these are fatalities from the tsunami. Okay. Well, maybe the tsunami doesn't really make a lot of sense to people. Dana, maybe you better show them a picture just to be the Mr. Nice Guy about it. Well, I can do that. You just got to give me a second. Hang on. It's almost there. I'm hurrying. I can't go any quicker. Hold on. Oh, my goodness. That didn't work. That's not working either, Dana. You got to put it up there so people can see it, Dana. Okay. So that's tsunami. Let's get back to the other picture on top of it. So people died in that. And get rid of that for the time being. Okay, now we're ready to roll. I got me cigarettes without 7,000 chemicals. I'm going to have a puff without everybody screaming at me. Fainting all over the world. Dana's having a cigarette. It's like seeing blood. I fainted right away. You gotta suck on your cigarette, Dana. All that tobacco doesn't let it burn very good. Need chemicals to make it burn just right. I know chemicals, thank you very much. But anyway, the fact that this tsunami was up to 10 miles inland, the fact that it covered 400 kilometers hardcore the coastline where it killed people, and okay. Wrong mouse. Mouse. So this tsunami also killed those people, and it took out all the infrastructure throughout the country. Yeah. Yeah, I know, I thought that out on my own. That's my own narrative. I looked at the picture for 16 hours straight, and I was like, got it. I don't see no telephone poles. I'm not lying. Okay, I'm lying about that part there. But if I told myself it enough, I'd probably believe it. So you got no power in the country. What is that? Big whoop, Dana. Well, no power means nuclear plants will melt down. Oh, Dana. Oh, ooh. So all those nuclear power plants, let's find some of those pictures for everybody. Oh, so, nuclear power plant. So all the ones you're seeing up where the mousey is too. See mousey? Don't look at me, look at my mousey. Mousey. Don't look at me because I want to have a cigarette without feeling guilty. My head hurts. That's why I'm doing a stream, make me feel better. Alright. So, what we see is how many reactors are in the firing zone. Well, quite a few of them. Yeah. Alrighty, hang on. Now we're getting somewhere. Oh, 15 reactors. You know, like the 15 I just showed you. For sure. I'll explain that to you. Okay, Dana, just explain it to us, Dana. Don't be puffing your cigarette like you're some kind of maniac. I put it up for your information. Who are you talking? I'm talking to me. I gotta look there because I got too many screens. And that one is one I'm using. But I can look over here. Kind of looks better than me looking like that all the time. Does it really matter? I know I got a voice for radio. I got a face for radio. 14 reactors at 4 sites was the next beauty. Yeah, they're already whittling away at it. Yeah, we'll get rid of the rest of the reactors, get it down just to Fukushima in no time at all. Fukushima government strongly demands TEPCO decommission and dismantle all 10 reactors. All 10. 10 reactors. December 28th. Oh, why 10? Why not 14? Why not 15 reactors? Because 10 were really freaking bad and should be. Now that includes the Fukushima. It also includes the Daini and the Tokai Daini too, right? We'll cover that in a bit. 14 total. Severe condition. Severe condition. Stop doing that, Dana. Okay, man. I'm just sorry. Get the mouse in my hand. I can't freaking. Yeah, I'm going to put it in my hand again that time. Just read the shit, Dana. Fukushima report introduced by the top official. Hosono, sir. All the reactors are all in considerable severe condition. 14 totally. What the fuck did Dana just say? I said 14 totally. Well, don't say total there. Chop that out and use it against me later in another smear campaign. I like them. I like smear campaigns. Okay, so the Daini, the Ogna, Gagwa, and the Tokai, extreme situation. Oh, not much happened. Brakas. Okay. Yeah. Extreme. Stop doing it, Dana. I'm sorry. Just one more? No. Okay, I'll take my hand off it. So, now, up here, okay, we'll save that for after. Yoink. Let's get back to business. Let's make sure I'm streaming. Hello, everybody. Hi, Miss Milky. I don't see you, but I see your name. Strontium. Hey, buddy. I am so Elaine. I'm getting back into the swing of it. Hi, Rattle. Here we go. Let's keep moving. A rocking and a rolling, a moving and a grooving and a ruling. Here we go. Yeah, the best thing could have happened to me was do what I done. Took the time off. Now everybody's yelling at me. Hey, you got to take some freaking time off. You're lonely. Under a lot of pressure. Under a stupid amount of pressure. They want to really screw me. They already have across Canada. They smeared me in the major media. And they took down 300 of these presentations. Anybody's not familiar. Not because of my Japanese imitation. No. Maybe. Fire at another nuclear plant northeast of Tokyo. Oh. Okay, let's come back to that one for a second. High radiation levels near Tokyo linked to Fukushima. Okay. Fire at another nuclear plant northeast of Tokyo. Let's keep going. Blazing nuclear power plant in Tokai. July the 6th, 2011. No total nuclear plants out of sight. They all melt down different. Japan to stress test nuclear plant to reassure public. You should stress Japan. If on it. I mean, let me keep going. You'll figure that one out on your own in a little while here. 15 of Japan's nuclear reactors are currently shut down due to damage. Yeah, the damage. Oh, no, Dana. No, Dana. All these people, Dana, all those people died all on that coastline from tsunami debris and tidal waves. But not nuclear power plant. They're like Superman, Dana. They're kryptonite, Dana. They're kryptonite, Dana. You're just Dana making it up. Those plants are fine, Dana. Oh, okay, yeah. Like that? Huh? You didn't come out and show everybody that and say, no, the fuel pools are fine. It'd be funny if it wasn't so scary, what they got done to us. How maniacal and twisted and demented and just out of control that Japan really truly is. Well, the only thing we get to compare it to is Chernobyl. Chernobyl, you abandoned, you get a free home in Fukushima if you're pregnant. Chernobyl was graphite, Fukushima was MOX, mixed oxide. What you're looking at there, that's mixed oxide. That's 2 million times worse. Divide 440 nuclear plants into 2 million, rather. Now, because they put it through a chain reaction again, it's 2 million times worse again. So it's a couple of billion times worse. That's why it killed the Pacific Ocean. But it wasn't just that. It was all the other... let me get rid of that. It was the tsunami throughout the coastline. All the meltdowns of all those reactors, right? So the Dynie. Now, I'm just going to burn through some of that stuff. Hang on. Because there's only like 12 or 14 of these. Level 1 event at Tokai. Cobalt 60 detected outside of the radiation. You can't control radiation. Right? That's the biggest lie on the planet. Safety inspector rushed to the site. April the 2nd. Okay. April the 2nd, he rushed to the site. Let me show you a picture of a little girl. And I think the picture was taken in 2012. That's the same spot. Sorry. You got billions of tons of this stuff. It's unbelievable. I mean, 400 miles of the coastline, kilometers of the coastline. Let me keep going. We got really good stuff coming up here. We might as well get at it. Dana, anytime you're ready, Dana. Okay, here we go. Dana. No single weapon competes with the potential damage from Unit 4. Okay, sometimes you got to show the picture because here's Unit 4. Anytime you're ready, Dana. Okay, here it is. Unit 4. Pretty. She's like, if you're trying to buy a building, a 10-story building, and you're a real estate agent, so we got some drone footage we can show you before we take you down there. The yard needs a little bit of work. Not a lot of parking spot. You can probably hire some homeless or some immigrants, that don't speak the language to come in and clean it up for you. Oh, that's right, they're already doing that. It's called TEPCO. You think I'm kidding? But they told you it was like that on the inside of number 4. They said it was like that on the inside of that building. Right? They tore all the roof down. That's where the fuel pool was, right? That fuel pool was up above it. That's the design of the buildings, right? They tore it all off. They built a structure alongside it, said they're going to put a crane in there. Then the government rolled out that picture, said the roof looked like that, and that it looked like that. They even got CBS Seth Dorn walking around in there saying he's inside of Unit 4. Walking around in the scenery like that, saying he's inside of that, and saying he's inside of that. Right? So you can't make that stuff up. But let's keep going on the headlines. That's not the one I was talking about. No single weapon can't compete with Unit 4. Unit 4 is gone. The weapon's been unleashed. It's not the only weapon that was unleashed. They unleashed it throughout the coastline, right? Oh, yeah, baby. See all these dead people all on the coastline? That's from tsunami debris. Tsunami debris. Okay, let's burn through these. Radiation at 400 times normal levels, 60 plus miles from Fukushima. Nearby, another nuclear power plant. Oh, okay. Nearby, another nuclear power plant, you say? 60 miles away, you say? Oh, I see. I see, said the man who's dying of cancers from Tokyo and everywhere else. Wait, we don't know. The earthquake could have took out all these power plants for all we know. It was strong enough. Shook the whole country. Dina, get on with it. Okay. 137 levels, 100 times normal in Osaka. Osaka. Way the frig past Tokyo. Now, May the 19th, they said it's the first ever detection. But I got all kinds of headlines on them. We can't cover today. But I got all kinds of headlines on Osaka. If you look up Osaka radiation, you'll find that headlines I'm talking about. I got a big folder. Massive radiation, especially in the sewage. It's because they're burning it in the incinerators also, right? But it's because many nuclear plants melted down. Not just the one. So the Onagawa nuke plant owner in Dano, or to ensure safety measures for people living nearby. Why? Because it was releasing bananas or potato chips? No, because it started to melt down. It started to melt down because because that tsunami debris, it was devastating up there, right? I got a whole bunch of data on it. But they couldn't get power in. Once you don't get power in there, it starts melting down. Once it starts melting down, you got to throw 1 million people at it, or you're going to contaminate the entire planet. You're going to contaminate the whole planet anyway, in just short orders. But if you don't stop what's going on in Japan, you are in a lot of trouble. And after 5 years, we are in a desperate amount of trouble. 100 miles from Fukushima, leak from a spent fuel pool, April the 8th. March, April, less than a month later, after 7.4 quake. They had 7.4s literally all day after that 9.0. They had 3 within the first 40 minutes, deadly ones right in that area of Fukushima itself. The whole country, it doesn't stop for years and years after with the tremors from that one zone only. But 100 miles from Fukushima, a leak from spent fuel pool at 2 reactors. At two. Large amount of salt water got into reactor number 5. Oh, gee, I wonder how that happened. Oh, I don't know, because tsunami came through the country. Not only the salt water got in there, that came through there. Never had no power, and they melted down. That's why we're in the predicament we're in. And that's why they went through such extremes to try to hide number 4. Cooling system temporarily stopped. April the 8th. See, they tell these little lies, but we know all the damage to the reactors, right? Because we already showed you those headlines. Radiation up after leak at Japan nuclear plant, not high enough to immediately impact human health. Once again, like a banana, like walking in the sunshine, like getting on an airplane, like sleeping next to somebody when it's not. Never was, never will be. They know better. Why are they telling you that? Because that's how it works. If there's something happening, they come out and tell you a lie. Because the workers are going to leak it out, and they need to cover the leaks. Not that one, but the other leaks, like we were talking about at the beginning of the show. And that is way to frig up there, right? The Genkai. Right? That's down there, Tokyo. The whole country shook for the first 6 minutes. The tsunami killed hundreds of thousands of birds in Alaska. It washed away a guy in America down around San Francisco or something. It wrecked places up in Vietnam, up in Philippines. It wasn't just 180 mile wide because the continental shelf was 180 mile wide. You got to think of how much power was there, how much energy, how much speed. It's 600 miles an hour. The tsunami. Let's keep going. Residents sue to complete suspension of the Genki reactors because they know what's going on. So it wasn't just along the coastline. And I haven't went through that. We don't know what the frig that is. Fukushima Daiichi, Fukushima Daini, the Ognogagwa, the Tokai. These reactors all had problems. This is part of their paper trail cover-up. Okay. Tokai Daini took 4 days to achieve cold shutdown. How can you couldn't achieve cold shutdown because you didn't have power. Once you don't achieve you can't shut it down when it's melting down. It doesn't work that way. You run away. That's what they do. That's what always happened. That's what was happening there. That's the problem, right? They tell you all these headlines. I have to show it to you because that alludes to the problem. But, you know, in order to encompass the whole scenario, it would take hours and hours and hours. No one's going to sit through it, only me. And I'll sit through it, trust me. Okay. Dana, keep going. A long way off from power being restored. That was March 21st. So every minute it loses an inch of water. It's got around 30 feet of water there. But we know the reactor's pools were cracked wide open by the earthquake. We know that the pumps that they brought in there... No, not that pump. That pump is not pumping 1 million gallons in each reactor. And they need 1 million gallons a minute. A minute! So just come out to do a stream tonight. So everybody know I'm okay. And just to say hi to everybody and get some stuff out there and come out and bang back into the system again. I'm worn out. I'm burnt out. I got to go to court next week. Not looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to the wear and tear. I need a break. I'm not going to get the break I want. So I'm taking it out so I can last the duration and so that I can maintain it and strive to tell that story properly. And there's so many obstacles constantly, and I always have been and always will be in my way. And I'll just crawl over them as I can. That's all I can do. I'm just one person. And I work really hard to do everything I do. I don't stop. I'm dedicated 24/7. There is nothing else more important. There is nothing else that even has a comparison for Fukushima's event. We're talking 3 melted reactors. Just on Fukushima. Not counting all the other reactors. Just Fukushima. And that is game over. That's game over for us. But it's much worse than that. Because they lied to you so heavily, right? Get a better picture of that one. They lied to us so bad, so constantly. Needs 1 million gallons a minute, and this is what they're trying to do to it. Oh, no, it's all fine, Dana. Shut up, Dana. Shut up, everybody else. And then TEPCO is out censoring everybody. The Fukushima prefecture government censoring people. And they want their money back for doing it. For paying off the thugs. For paying off the extortionists. For paying off the strawmen and the thugs at the social networking sites so that they could help achieve their goal that people wouldn't be able to defend themselves, protect themselves. This is just a small handful of people doing this to us. Making decisions for the whole planet, wrecking everything permanently. With no way back. And hardly a way forward. Because we can't have a conversation about it. Because everybody insists on towing the line. Everybody insists on not using the word Fukushima in the proper context. Everybody insists that Chernobyl is worse than Fukushima. You're not a normal person. You're not a human. You don't have any kind of capacity of a human when you do that. And the nuclear PR firms are just unbelievable. These are the worst criminals imaginable. These are war criminals. These people have to be prosecuted. These people have to be all hunted down. We need special prosecutors to find these people. We know who they are. The James Concras, the Woods Halls, the Uvics. All of these people need to be prosecuted for what they're doing. The lying PR machines, the Goddards, journals, that guy got to be taken apart and destroyed and put in a jail cell forever. or much worse, legally. And that's not me. That's the whole planet is going to be screaming for that. Don't forget to miss that, chop that out and put the rest in there, you fucks. You stupid PR firms. Yeah, all nuclear PR firms will be dealt with. All their bosses will be found. They'll be all put in jails. They will have everything stripped from them. Their families will be left with nothing. These people will be definitely having their day within the next couple of years. There will be no whales left by the end of this year. No whales left by the end of the year. Think about that one. Wrap your mind around that. That's the reality of it, right? The evidence is overwhelming. Mass die-off after mass die-off. Carcasses littering beaches, that's today's headline, on the Pacific coast of Alaska. Complete reproductive failure, horrifying, mind-boggling, off-the-chart, unprecedented die-offs, has the potential to be the biggest mortality event in state history. No, everything is already missing. The fact that you even found anything is amazing. It's amazing because we done 15,000 miles of the coastline. Let me explain something to anybody who's not familiar with Dana and the Hounds of Fukushima and who we are and why we do what we do and why we can stand our ground and why you must support us and you must understand this stuff also. We crowdfunded this operation. We spent 260 days and we covered 15,000 miles of the coastline. And I have 14 years as a commercial diver, but my whole life on the ocean. I've done every industry in both oceans. And I've ran over a dozen commercial dive boats. When I left the East Coast, I had 30,000 hooks and 120 gill nets, and the fishery was collapsed. Not because of overfishing, but because of industry. It's a long story. But the international fleet has never stopped down there. The factory ships have never stopped. We went along that coastline in this boat, and let me get rid of that. Hang on. Let me fix that up. Dana, get your shit together, Dana. Okay, I got it together. There it is. Bang. So instead of looking like that at Louise Narrows, that's Louise Narrows. It looks like that, and a better idea of that would be to that there. Instead of looking like that, it's naked. The whole friggin' thing is naked. Instead of looking like that, it looks like that. Instead of looking like that, it looks like that. These are all the same spot, by the way. Pre-Fukushima and now after Fukushima. Post-Fukushima. That's what it looks like. Pre-Fukushima, post-Fukushima. Same spot. Pre-Fukushima, post-Fukushima. Pre-Fukushima. And those starfish, the leatherbacks, I'll show you a better picture in a few minutes, but 75 per square meter. Now there's nothing there. Zero. Instead of looking like that everywhere you went at low tide, this was a 0.9-inch tide. This was a supermoon. This is in the Queen Charlotte's and the Haida Islands, in an isolated area of Canada. We covered 15,000 miles of the coastline. I've dove this whole coastline many times. But instead of looking like this, no sea anemones, you get them 500 per square meter. On top of that, nothing. Instead of endless 600 algae, nothing. Instead of just mass abundance of shellfish and just wonderment, you couldn't pick a meal there. You couldn't survive there. You would starve to death. You would starve to death if you tried to eat everything from the low tide to the high tide line. You couldn't feed yourself, let alone two people. Instead of looking like that, where you can just go anywhere and dig up clams and everything else and have a scarf, and there's nothing on any slime that would most likely finish you off. So instead of looking rich and healthy, it looked gross and disgusting and lethargic. Instead of being a pleasure, it was a nightmare. Instead of being dangerous to bring my Zodiac up to that shoreline, right, it was empty. I had no worry at all. Instead of being a healthy ecosystem, it was void of everything. No noise, no animals, no insects, no invertebrates. And all the starfish and everything else is missing. Nothing left. Everything is missing, not just starfish. Instead of all kinds of people going there, no, why would you go there? There's nothing to be seen. Instead of 75 per square meters, there was none. Like you can imagine trying to go ashore with your Zodiac, you hit one of them, you can't get back to your boat. I never had that issue in the whole coastline of British Columbia. Instead of seeing this everywhere I went like it's normal, That's normal. There's nothing. British Columbia is kept warm by the warm currents from Japan. By the way, that's 15,000 miles in that little boat. It's pretty impressive. We told a story. And you can find that up at thenuclearproctologist.org. Anytime you're ready, Dana. 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 There he is. Thenuclearproctologist.org, you can find those pictures. Not the pre-Fukushima pictures. Go look them up yourself. Go to universities, institutions, go to libraries. Prove me wrong. Okay. Nuclear terror alert. Police arrest 3 men near Sellafield. See the word alert? Right? Well, they released them right away. So this is to get money. There's 4 million liters a day of highly radioactive water going out there off of Sellafield. Right? But they need to suck in money from the system, and then they want to get more security money because they got all these guys there getting a stupid amount of money for nothing. You're already contaminating the whole planet beyond imagination. Mass deaths of seabirds in the western U.S. is unprecedented. Okay. Okay. Let's finish that one off. I went from all those arrows are representatives of areas I covered. I shouldn't use that word, I suppose. Dana and the Hounds of Fukushima covered. It's all about. I couldn't have done it without everybody helping me. I was willing to do it in a dinghy. I was willing to do it on a piece of log and just float up the coastline. I was. I had to know. Now I know. I wish I didn't, but I know. But I've never seen any birds. You should see 1,000, 5,000 every square mile. At least during the prime of the year, during the migratory in particular. Instead, from the whole coastline, I counted 400. And after 260 days, I probably counted, I would say 4,000. But there was one spot in a 20-mile stretch at the very end of it, right up close to Charlotte's, were 3 species of birds. I got a good footage of that. It'll be showing up eventually. And I counted around 7,500 birds in a 26-mile zone. But it was 3 species. The black turs, common tur, seagulls. I can't remember. Puffins, I think, was the other one. So the whole coastline, birds were missing. Only 2 times did I have birds in Anchorage with me. 2 times. I got that on pictures. I counted 11 species of birds. Should be 169 migratory, 148 residential. Species. I counted 11 species over 260 days, 15,000 miles. Alright. Okay. Now, so let's run through some headlines. We ran out of time. We ran out of time. And Dana better get his ass in gear. Hang on, here we go. Was Fukushima Prefecture censoring 6 and 10 Fukushima children tested to have diabetes? Most likely. Most guaranteed. Head of Tokyo, we are expecting diabetes in children. It's from radiation, right? 6 and 10. 6 and 10. First time since meltdown surge in radioactive cesium levels cause incinerators. We'll pick up for the next stream where we'll leave off tonight. Because I got so much work done here and we got no chance to get through it because that's just the way a row. Cause the incinerator, because they're burning it in the incinerators. They're what they call decontaminating communities and burning it in incinerators. So you're reliberating it into the community. You can't destroy it. You put it in battery acid, you can't destroy it. So it's radioactive force, a permanent risk. must be cut down. Every gust of wind showers cesium particles over the village. So you have to decontaminate the village. When the wind blows, it all goes to shit again. Enormous spread of radiation, levels so high in the hills of Iliad, whatever that word was, that locals dare not go there, and I won't go there again either. 150 millisieverts a year outside the official's home. No, it's okay, man. Look at banana. Pop! Goes the weasel. Japan Times interview. The Japan Times come out and smeared me, accused me of death threats. I'm charged with criminal harassment and nuclear pukes. Couldn't be more prouder. Tokyo still in danger of being lost. The government should be acting accordingly. What was the date on that one? Oh, 2012? I'm going to finish off my cigarette. It doesn't have 7,000 chemicals called CNT. So, don't have a stroke. If you did, it's probably from CCM. What was that last headline? Tokyo still in danger of being lost. I'll show you why. Olympic athletes and tourists warned they will be in danger from Tokyo elevated. You have no idea. 900,000 becquerels a kilogram radiated. Square meter radiated. That's not radiated. That's murder. That's murder. You will die. You're a dead man walking. Japan professor, radioactive materials are spread throughout Greater Tokyo. Yeah, because you had all kinds of meltdowns, dummy. No, it's probably a good guy. I withdraw that comment. High radiation levels found at possible Olympic site. New York Times, we have Fukushima polluting the entire Pacific Ocean. We're talking about how people should be dressed. Influential actor. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Previous unpublished maps from the government. Scientists show Fukushima plume already on Alaska coast. The corrosive current at 5 miles an hour in 24 hours. Do your math. Now multiply it by 45 days, and it's on your coast. Forget about Alaska. I got 2 studies showing it was in Alaska. From Japan. I think it was within 30 days or something. Fisheries and Oceans Canada. Yeah, that was the one. Right. Main inventory of Fukushima 137 CCM. Look at that charmer. Yummy. Woo, CCM. There's 100 times more strontium. There's 31 times more iodine 129. With a 15 million year half-life. There was 2,000 radionuclides I'm worried about. And 10,000 classified ones I'm worried about. No one can imagine what the long-term effects are going to be on sea life. Oh, yeah? Guess again. I think a lot of people imagine that one, including us. Scientists measured 2,000 trillion becquerels of cesium in one study area. That was 200 square miles. That's okay, Dana. Deluding you, Dana. You can't dilute radiation. It doesn't work that way. You can't get rid of it. You can't even put it in a bottle of battery acid and freaking neutralize it. Iodine 129, 15.7 million years. And for every iodine 131, and we see numbers like 20 million of them, 131s, in a liter of rainwater by Simon Fraser University in British Columbia, Canada. So what the frig is 31 times more iodine 129? And remember, iodine doesn't travel by itself. The reactors, just think about those reactors in Japan. 4 buildings created 9 million. 9 million? Oh, you don't believe me, eh? 9 million 1-ton bags. 9 million 1-ton bags. 1 ton. It'll hurt your pickup truck. 9 million of them. 9 million from 4 buildings. That's just Fukushima. If you clean up the whole planet, you'd be talking about 9 billion. From a single building. 4 buildings. Just imagine 4 buildings creating that much garbage, let alone 9 million of them. No, nuclear's fine, Dana. Carbon-free, Dana. Hey, you know, Chernobyl accident mitigated any prosperity from the other 50 reactors that are in Russia and Germany. It mitigated them completely. It destroyed any kind of profitability it would ever have. That's what the damage is from a reactor. Hang on, I'll get rid of that. Let's finish it up. Let's finish it up. We hit the 9 o'clock in marky. Now come over and say, I will pick up for the next stream. My cigarettes don't have 1,000 chemicals. Hi, everybody. Hi, Janie. Thank you. Strontium, Albert, Terry Ann, Jan Brooks, Shawnee again, Elaine. Yeah, and those bags, like Elaine said, won't last very long. On top of that, I mean, rain gets into it and snow gets into it, and bags are torn apart when they're lifted and dragged around. And it's bad news, folks. Just trying to store 9 million bags. We're not talking about stuff from the reactor. We're talking about the fallout throughout the country. You got 9 million bags from just fallout. What the freak should we have from the reactor? It's too much. The planet, the ocean is already dead. Everything is starving to death out there. All those birds we showed you, we were talking about, they died with nothing in them. They checked them for parasites. They checked them for diseases. They checked them for toxins. They checked them for leads. They didn't have anything wrong with them outside the fact that they starved to death. They starved to death because they feed up on the basis of the food chain. And we proved that the whole coastline is dead. The 4 million other species didn't receive the coastline after those expeditions. That's what they proved, rather. There's lots more of that coming up. And so good night, everybody. Ping. Hey, Alex, thanks for the song, Alex. And everybody, once again, thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your faith. Thank you for your ability to recognize that we have to push back. And thank you for being those people. And that if you think you didn't make a difference, that you didn't change the game, that you didn't give this planet a jump start, that you didn't give it the opportunity that it begged for, that it cried for, that it pleaded for, that it was drowning and screaming in desperation for, someone to bring some kind of logic to the debate, and somebody with the fortitudes that you people have to keep fighting back and to keep standing your ground. If you take me out, that's what you got to do, and I know that'll be done, and I'm no longer worried about that. But for many time, I was worried about that, and that's why I produced so much material. That's why I kind of went overboard with it. It's because I understood it only takes one really good video, and after hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of 1 hour shows, at least one of them should make it out there, and they have. And that's all we really needed, was another narrative, so people can say, hey, wait on a second, he's probably got a point, I better go look at it. And then, but I do better than that. I provide you all the data during the stream. I provide you all the information. I do all that. It's so much work. It's inconceivable. Like if I was, set up properly with a proper everything and had a team to work for me to gather up the material, and I wasn't completely frazzled constantly. I had people who can handle all the equipment, right, and producers and engineers. We wouldn't take long to get this planet back on the right track. But that's what it takes, right? When you got just me by myself trying to organize that side of it, I can still do it because I know that if I got to, I can count on everybody when I got to. And I try not to do it in the context of, I understand how difficult it is for people to use their voices, and how hard it is to work software, and how hard it is to take the beatings and to take the harassment and the bullying and the threats and the demonic industry that is set in motion then to wreck you and destroy you and eviscerate everything about you with no conscience, no moral compass whatsoever. The people that are attacking me are paid to do it. They are highly motivated, and they have no conscience about it. They don't care about anything. They don't care about themselves. They don't care about their friends or families or loved ones. They're not like the typical violent thug that would take care of their loved ones. They don't see life that way. They're nihilistic. They're self-destructive. And it is our duty, right? This is our watch, and it's our duty to stand tall And some of us are going to get taken apart. Some of us are going to be killed. Some of us will be imprisoned. And many of us will be victims. We already are. And there is no future without us bringing logic and some kind of restitution. Because otherwise we're going to have animosity. People are going to wake up and be really angry because it took them so long to learn. And that's what we provide a platform normally. Outside of my antics. So hugs for everybody. We'll catch the next stream. I'm not sure when. I am feeling a lot better though after 8 days. It's only now that I'm actually able to actually take a break. I had to catch up with my own life for the last 8 days. And today was no different. But I feel that I got everything out of my way and everything is accomplished. We got court next Wednesday. We're just going to go in and plead and then set a trial and go bang heads against these creeps, these freaks of nature, these traitors, these lowlifes, these cowards, these parasites, these parasitic vultures that are feeding and feasting on our loved ones and our friends and our families and this entire planet. We're not going to be defeated. We're not giving up. We're not walking away. We're not going to cow down. We're not going to acquiesce. We're gonna meet you face to face, eyeball to eyeball. We just don't think you'll have your eyes open long enough to see that. Hugs for everybody. Take care, folks. Good night, everybody. We'll catch everybody on the next stream. I'll upload a higher quality to YouTube right away. It takes an hour and a half to show up, but it'll be a higher quality than what I can stream. So, Dana Durnford TheNuclearProctologist.org. We'll catch everybody next stream. Take care, folks.